How do I figure out what's next in my career? How do I align my work with what truly matters to me? And the biggest question of all, can I really design a career that I love? Hey, my name is Jen Smith, and I believe career success doesn't have to come at the expense of living a radiantly happy and healthy lifestyle. As a former HR leader and recruiter turned career coach, I've seen how traditional paths can leave people burned out or boxed in. And I know there's a better way, one that invites you to let go of outdated rules and outside expectations, one that evolves and supports meaningful growth over time. Whether you're feeling stuck, craving more clarity, or ready to expand within your current role and beyond, this show is for you. So grab your coffee or your kombucha, pull up a seat, and get ready to explore practical, modern strategies for building a meaningful, heart-based career. Because you deserve a long, radiantly happy, and healthy career. This is the Flourish Careers Podcast. Hello and welcome. I'm Jen Smith, and today we are kicking off season 12 of the Flourish Careers Podcast. And this season is going to be a little bit different. We are going to count down your top 12 most listened episodes of all time. I had so much fun going through the data to design this. And over the years, I've shared strategies and stories to help you navigate your career with intention. And when I looked at the episodes that you loved the most, a few patterns emerged. First, you're tuning in during high-pressure career moments, when you're interviewing, negotiating, starting a new role, or talking about tricky topics with confidence. You're also showing up for episodes that help you build confidence, how to communicate your worth, or how to talk about yourself, and how to stay grounded in who you are even when the stakes feel high. And just as beautifully, you're drawn to conversations around energy, alignment, and inspiration, the rituals that make work feel more meaningful. This tells me that heart-based career planning is resonating. Your career isn't just about what you do, it's about how you feel as you move through it. So this summer, we're revisiting the top 12 that reflect all of these themes. The ones you return to again during moments of growth, reflection, rest, and renewal. Each week, I'll add an intro to each episode with what I've learned since recording it, why I believe it resonated, and one 5 minutes to flourish tiny action to help you apply the insight to your current season of work and life. So you could think of this season as a reset. It's a chance to revisit the guidance that supported you before, maybe hear it in a new light, and carry forward what feels aligned for you wherever you're headed next. And speaking of seasonal resets, we are going to celebrate season 12 and this listener favorite countdown with a little giveaway. So here's what you do. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts about your favorite episode, screenshot it and send it my way, either jennifer.smith@flourish.careers or tag me on social media. From there, I'll send you a link for a complimentary in-season planner, the perfect tool for a reset. And then lastly, as a quick note, this top 12 is a snapshot in time. Of course, older episodes have more time to rack up listens, but here's what I found interesting. Some of the episodes in this top 12 were actually more recent. And so that tells me you didn't just stumble across them, maybe you sought them out, which I'm so delighted to hear. Thank you again for tuning in. Let's count down to your most loved episodes of all time. Coming in at number 12 is clearing the air of 3 big career myths. In this episode, we tackle 3 career myths that a lot of us were raised to believe, like gaps on your resume are deal breakers, or success means clocking a rigid 40-hour work week and that you have to have one job, one title, and one lane. None of that holds up anymore. So in this episode, we dig into why career breaks are increasingly being recognized, not penalized by forward-thinking employers. We explore how project-based work and flash teams are reshaping what work looks like, especially in our world of AI. And we talk about the portfolio career, having more than one income stream, more than one focus, and a work life that actually reflects who you are. So this episode, I feel like, is permission giving. If you've ever felt behind, boxed in, or like you're playing by rules that no longer apply, this episode was made for you. And with that, your 5 minutes to flourish, tiny action to consider as you're listening. Write down one rule you've been following that you didn't consciously choose. Then ask yourself, does this still serve me, or is it just familiar? Grab a pen and your in-season journal and see what comes up. Let's revisit the conversation. Hello, and welcome back to the Flourish Careers podcast. I'm your host, Jen Smith, and today we are discussing letting go of 3 outdated career myths. It is time to stop believing some of these things that we have believed our entire careers. And we're going to talk about practical actions to help you move forward. So at some point or another, many of us begin to feel stuck in our careers, wondering why we haven't made more progress, especially after devoting years to a company and all we really have to show for it is a nasty case of boredom or even worse, burnout. So if you're feeling this way, it is possible that you might be holding on to some career quote unquote truths that are no longer true today. So unlocking and rejecting these modern day myths could be the key to helping you reach your potential and feeling fulfilled in work and life. So in this episode, we will squash 3 common career myths for good so you can get the clarity and confidence you need to move forward. So let's get to it. Myth number 1, I probably have this conversation at least 3 to 5 times a week. Breaks in your resume will kill your chances of landing a good job when you return to the workforce. Traditional career advice has always been to avoid gaps in your resume. Any gaps in your employment, we were told, would be scrutinized and subsequently get our resumes tossed into the trash bin. But following the Great Resignation, and I would even go out on a limb to say that this started happening before the pandemic, the stigma on career gaps has lessened. So as an HR recruiter turned career coach, I am here to tell you it is time to put that misconception to bed. Taking a step back from the traditional career path is no longer a step backward. Taking a career break for whatever reason is totally okay. Often, it's even considered great for your personal and professional development. When you think about it, the idea of a sabbatical has been around forever. Career breaks can improve your marketable skills by allowing you to explore other interests or pursue really fun personal growth opportunities. So whether you take a break to travel the world, to focus on your family, or to take time to recharge, it's an opportunity to gain valuable experiences and insights that will only enhance your employability. So I know a lot of people have a hard time with this. So I want to talk through how to showcase your career break in the best light. So we're going to talk through 3 actions that you can take. The first one is to be proactive in interviews. So if you want to frame your career break in a positive light, be the one to bring it up first. Today, I will tell you that employers are increasingly recognizing the value of a career break. So they're more open to the idea that your time off led to personal growth, increased skill sets, or even a renewed sense of purpose. So I looked at this Forbes article and it said that half of employers, so 52% of employers, appreciate candidates who proactively address a career break by highlighting what they learned throughout the process. In fact, the LinkedIn data that was used in that article further revealed that attitudes are evolving. So it said that 63% of the 4,000 hiring managers surveyed claimed that they are more likely than they were before the pandemic to hire someone who has taken a break from work, with 46% of them going so far to say that they see candidates with career breaks as an untapped talent pool. So don't wait to be asked about that year-long gap in your interviews. Tell the interviewer the reason behind it, but most importantly, tell them as a means of showcasing what you learned. So maybe you honed a new perspective while caring for an aging parent, or gained a new skill during a wellness break. Even the experiences you had while traveling abroad probably taught you something. So tell the story and then connect the lessons gained from that story to the role that you're hoping to fill. I will tell you, when I was a recruiter, I will never forget, this was one of the most memorable interviews I did, was a gentleman who took time off to travel to the northernmost point of the United States and the southernmost point of the United States. And it was so memorable that I'm still thinking about it and talking about it today. So these stories can really be good conversation starters that make you an interesting human to talk to. So don't be afraid to tell the story. Tip number 2 is to utilize LinkedIn's Career Breaks tool. So for what it's worth, you don't even have to wait for the interview to start addressing your career break. You can start with LinkedIn's Career Breaks feature to show that you're proactive and self-aware. So this allows you to effectively explain why you left the workforce and any skills that you gained, and you can showcase this right away to recruiters and hiring managers on your profile. If you check this out, you'll see there's at least 13 or 14 categories to choose from. This includes travel, career transition, health and well-being, full-time parenting, bereavement, gap years, layoffs, or other life experiences. So you can showcase your unique story in the best light right on your LinkedIn profile. And just the fact that LinkedIn is doing that makes me think that this is becoming more and more acceptable. Number 3 is to take advantage of employer support. So burnout, my friends, is at an all-time high. And more companies are warming to the idea of sabbaticals, paid and unpaid, to reward long-term employees before they burn out and quit. So according to research by the Sabbatical Project, 80% of people who take sabbaticals report feeling refreshed and more energized when they return to work. As a result, the number of people taking sabbaticals has tripled since 2019. I can definitely attest to this from my own personal experience. And I shared earlier in episode 1 my story of 100 days away from corporate America that you can certainly tune into to learn more. So if you're lucky enough to work for an employer who offers a sabbatical program or who supports extended breaks for personal projects or passions, don't hesitate to seize this opportunity and make the most of it. Not only will taking advantage of employer support for career breaks impress your current boss, it'll also make you more attractive to potential employers if and when you want to make a change. It shows that you're proactive in seeking new challenges, expanding your skill set, and taking control of your career. Not to mention, your future self will thank you. Okay, so now that we've talked about myth number 1, which was dispelling the fact that career breaks in your resume will kill your chances of landing a good job when you return to the workforce. Not true. Myth number 2 is that the 40-plus hour work week is the only pathway to success. So in the world of traditional employment, we have been conditioned to believe that 8 hours or 9 hours or 10 hours or even more sometimes a day, plus 5 days a week is the key to success. However, it is time for us to shift our mindset and consider alternate career approaches, because working smarter, not harder, is what leads to more meaningful achievements and fulfillment. The good news is that the nature of work is evolving in today's gig economy. One way to break free from the traditional work model is by embracing project-based work. So instead of being tied down to a traditional 40-plus hour work week, we have the flexibility to take on projects that excite us and fit into our desired schedules. So I love this concept of flash teams, which is the idea that brings together skilled individuals for specific projects without the hassle of onboarding. So the idea is that each person is simply there to do their part and get the thing done. Best of all, this type of work allows you to explore different industries, diversify your skill set, and really expand your network. Project-based work appears to be the future of work, and the idea is super interesting to me. So now we get to choose projects aligned with our skills, our particular season of career, our interests, and we can really gain better control over our time and our exposure to different industries. But getting paid by the project means generating a shift from your time to your value. So you'll have to start by demonstrating the value you bring to the table rather than the number of hours you can give. And by making this shift, you can begin negotiating fair compensation and creating a work-life schedule that suits your needs. All right, so myth number 1 that we dispelled was around breaks in your resume. Myth number 2 is that the 40-hour work week is the only pathway to success. Myth number 3 is that you can't do more than one job at a time. So as children, we are asked what we want to be when we grow up. In college, we're encouraged to select one major. At work, we're assigned one job title. So the message is clear. You can only pick one thing. But it's time to bust the myth that you must pick just one thing. The traditional linear path becomes outdated, and more people are embracing portfolio careers, which often include full-time or part-time employment mixed with side hustles, project-based work, or working as a consultant. So with a portfolio career, you get to work in unrelated roles, receive various sources of income, and pursue a mix of your most heart-based interests, and it can be a game changer for your lifestyle. So some of the main benefits of portfolio careers. Number 1 is fulfilling work. So rather than being limited to one job or one profession, a portfolio career allows you to explore and pursue all different various interests and passions. And by following your heart and aligning your career choices with your values and your interests, you can craft a really unique and diverse portfolio of work. Also, it allows you to bring in multiple streams of income. So with a portfolio career, changing job markets and economic trends will no longer threaten you like they did before. So instead of relying on one source of income or one job, you'll have a variety of income streams and opportunities to fall back on. This gives you more financial security and peace of mind in times of economic uncertainty. Also, I truly believe that it will enhance your employability. So the gig economy has brought with it this unprecedented flexibility. There's never been a better time to design a career that suits your unique lifestyle needs and aspirations. So tapping into different industries and diversifying your professional experiences allows you to continually learn and expand the skill sets that you bring to any table. And this enhances your employability and opens up new opportunities for growth in the development that you probably didn't even realize were there. If you'd like, I interviewed Cassie Spencer earlier this year, and you can tune into that episode and hear how she crafted her portfolio career. So let's talk about how to take action and craft your portfolio career one step at a time. I know that this is a hot topic. Step number 1 is to engage in heart-based career planning. So either on your own or with a trusted advisor or with a career coach, you can take time to reflect on your interests, your values, and your transferable skills. So the idea here is to assess the skills, the interests, the strengths that you have and identify how to do more of what you excel at and enjoy, and then consider how that might be monetized. By understanding what truly drives you and brings you joy, you can facilitate a financially rewarding and fulfilling career on a deeper level. You can also think about how to diversify your income streams by thinking through different sources or ways of working that meet your heart-based lifestyle. So freelance, project-based work, consulting, maybe even starting a small business. So in today's world of work, you can get really creative here and make it fun. Step 2 in building a portfolio career is to work on an unconventional network. So with a portfolio career, you will often navigate different industries as you work on a variety of different projects. Leverage social media to connect with people who share your interests or who have experience in the areas that you want to explore. You can attend conferences, join online communities, seek out mentorship opportunities. All of these ways are going to help you build a diverse network. And by building a diverse and multi-industry network, you'll soon find yourself attracting new opportunities, collaborations, and insights that you wouldn't have had with a traditional singular focus. Step number 3 is to take tiny action. So I know the thought of a portfolio career with multiple streams of income can feel overwhelming. But by breaking down your big ambitions into smaller, more manageable actions, you'll be able to focus on just one thing at a time. So for example, if you want to start a side business, maybe you start by researching your target market or create a simple landing page. Those tiny actions may seem insignificant, but they will add up over time and help you make your progress more achievable. Step number 4 is to celebrate your wins. My friends, please do not forget to celebrate your wins in all areas of work. Acknowledge and appreciate the progress you make along the way. Whether it's landing a new client for your freelance writing gig or receiving positive feedback for a project at your part-time job, take the time to recognize and celebrate the achievements. Celebrating your wins not only boosts your confidence, but it also reminds you how far you've come in crafting your portfolio career. The bottom line is that there's a certain freedom that comes from knowing that you no longer have to follow a linear career path or work an arbitrary number of hours to achieve your goals. Today, the only limits on your career are the ones that you impose on yourself. You are finally free to focus on pursuing opportunities through a heart-based approach. So please join me in letting go and dispelling these outdated ways of working, because you deserve a long, radiantly happy, and healthy career. That's a wrap for today. I hope you found this helpful. As always, the notes from this episode can be found on the Flourish Careers blog at flourish.careers/blog. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you next time.